Hello everyone, welcome to History and Culture. In Chinese history, there is a mysterious and legendary national couple. She was the beauty of the ages, said to have a face that could make fish sink and geese fall from the sky. He was a brilliant strategist, a hero capable of reversing the fate of a fallen nation. Together, they not only changed the destiny of the state of Yu but also created a romantic tale amid the chaos of war that continues to move people to this day. They are none other than Xi Shi and Fan Li. For many people, their impression of these two figures comes mainly from school textbooks like Lying on Firewood and Tasting Gall, The Beauty Trap, Revenge, Success, and then retreating into seclusion, sailing away across the 5 lakes. But have you ever wondered, behind all of this, how much is real history, and how much is legend embellished by later generations? Even more surprisingly, an accidental archaeological discovery in 2002 seemed to offer new clues to this ancient story. The site was in Wuxi, Jiangsu province. At a seemingly ordinary highway construction site, workers unexpectedly unearthed stone fragments bearing ancient carvings. What exactly happened here? Could it be that secrets related to Xi Shi and Fan Li are truly buried beneath this land? Today, let's travel back more than 2,000 years to uncover the historical truth behind this legendary couple. This isn't just a love story between a beauty and a sage, it's a profound journey into national loyalty, emotional decisions, and unsolved historical mysteries. In February 2002, construction was well underway on the Beijing-Shanghai Expressway in Wuxi, Jiangsu. Near the town of Hongshan, workers were excavating mounds of earth to use as fill for the highway. The area was dotted with hundreds of small hills, prime sources of fill material, so the construction team was accustomed to digging here. But on that particular day, the bucket of an excavator brought up something unusual. Several stone fragments with visible carvings. These were clearly not natural stones, intricate patterns and designs were still visible on their surfaces. The workers immediately realized they might have uncovered cultural relics. They halted work and sent the fragments to the local cultural heritage department for professional evaluation. At first, the heritage experts didn't expect much. After all, it's not uncommon to find random fragments at construction sites, often just remnants of everyday items from ancient villagers. However, when they examined the stones, they were shocked. One of the larger fragments turned out to be a piece of a celadon bell from the spring and autumn period, an exquisite artifact from a very distant time. Other ceramic shards showed clear signs of that same era. The simple but elegant designs matched the style of the spring and autumn period. This convinced the experts that the site could be of major historical significance. A team of archaeologists quickly headed to the source of the finds, a mound called Laohuden, Tiger Mound. By the time they arrived, the curious workers had already unearthed a small area of the site. Within an area of nearly 100 square meters, the ground was littered with fragments of celadon pottery, similar in style to those previously recovered. These fragments clearly belonged to the same time period. The archaeologists were both thrilled and cautious. A bold hypothesis began to take shape. Could these dozens of surrounding mounds be part of an ancient and massive burial complex? Even more exciting was the location. Laohuden sat within the historical territory of the state of Wu during the spring and autumn period. Could these tombs be related to Wu royalty, or even King Fuchai of Wu? The feud between Wu and Yu is one of the most famous chapters in Chinese history. The story of King Gojin of Yu enduring humiliation to eventually reclaim his kingdom is widely known, yet the burial site of King Fuchai and the relics of Wu have long remained a mystery. If this truly was the burial site of Wu nobles, it might help unravel that chapter of history. However, the expressway was a national infrastructure project, and could not be halted based on mere speculation. The discovery was reported through official channels, and the central authorities approved the formation of the Hongshan Archaeological team to carry out full-scale excavations. This marked the formal beginning of efforts to uncover the secrets of Wu and Yu from the Spring and Autumn period. The Hongshan team began a systematic excavation of Liaohuden. The burial site reflected a distinctly Wu style. Unlike the standardized tombs of later dynasties, Wu and Yu-era tombs were more rudimentary earthen mounds, formed by digging pits and filling them with soil. Though simple, they carried unique regional characteristics. As the excavation continued, over 300 cultural relics were uncovered from surrounding mounds, including Celadon ware, pottery, and jade artifacts. Carbon-14 dating confirmed that these items dated from 474 BCE to 468 BCE, right in the middle of the climactic battles between Wu and Yu. This timing both excited and puzzled experts. On the one hand, the relics confirmed that the tombs dated to the late Spring and Autumn period and were consistent with the Wu region's geography. On the other hand, during this period, Wu was embroiled in war with Yu and was in decline. It seemed unlikely they would have had the resources or motivation to construct such a massive cemetery. Could it be that after Yu defeated Wu, King Gojian built these tombs for the Wu nobles? But history portrays Gojian as a man of endurance and ruthlessness. There's no record of him showing such magnanimity toward his enemies. This prompted experts to reconsider. Wu, being closer to the Central Plains, should have reflected burial customs rich in bronze artifacts like tripods and bells. But the relics from this site were almost entirely Celadon, light, elegant, and simply decorated. This contradicted Wu customs but aligned closely with known Yu burial styles. Large tombs at the site had rectangular chambers, wooden padding on the floor, wooden partitions, and even anti-feng shui elements, features common in Yu tombs but not in Wu. To further verify this, archaeologists expanded their search and uncovered even more items characteristic of Yu, including Celadon vessels with geometric patterns typical of Yu but not Wu, which preferred intricate floral motifs. The layout of the cemetery also fit the Yu pattern, scattered mound burials instead of a centralized, planned royal mausoleum. Eventually, experts concluded that the site likely wasn't Wu, but a large-scale Yu burial ground built after Yu's victory over Wu. Among all the tombs, one in particular stood out, the so-called Zhecheng tomb. Unlike the nearby mounds, it resembled a Central Plains tomb, was significantly larger in scale, and stood at a higher elevation. More astonishingly, it was constructed atop an ancient sacrificial altar dating back over 5,000 years. This greatly enhanced its cultural significance and suggested the occupant was of exceptional status. If the tomb of King Gojian had not already been discovered elsewhere, experts might have assumed this was his final resting place. So who was buried here? Slowly, an ancient legend resurfaced. As experts debated the tomb's owner, one name kept coming up, Xi Shi, the famed beauty who played a key role in Yu's conquest of Wu. Her looks are legendary. She is the original beauty who made fish sink, but her story is more than just her appearance. According to historical records, she was a native of Yu, born in present-day Zhuji, Zhejiang. She was known for washing silk by the western stream, hence the name Xi Shi. Her beauty and intelligence made her central to King Gojian's plan for national revival, masterminded by his trusted advisor, Fan Li. Fan Li, a native of Chu, was a brilliant strategist of the Spring and Autumn era. After joining Yu, he proposed many plans to restore the kingdom, most famously, the use of a beauty trap. After Yu's defeat, Wu's king Fuchai became increasingly indulgent and complacent. Sensing this vulnerability, Fan Li suggested sending beautiful women and treasure to distract the king while Yu rebuilt its strength. Xi Shi was chosen for this mission and sent to Wu as a kind of undercover, female spy. She captivated King Fuchai, influencing his decisions. It is said that he built lavish palaces for her, the Chunqiao Palace, Guanhua Pavilion, and Lingguan, and even constructed a special corridor for her, clog dance, similar to modern tap dance. Her charm helped deepen Fuchai's complacency, and even led to the wrongful execution of loyal General Wu Zixu, paving the way for Yu's comeback. The excavation of the Qiuqing tomb has added a new dimension to the story of Xi Shi and family. Archaeologists uncovered a collection of exquisite burial items, including celadon wares, jade artifacts, and a unique craftwork named the glazed coiling dragon orb with snakes. This orb features 8 small snakes coiled head to tail, encrusted with blue glazed glass over a red base. The intricate craftsmanship suggests it was an important ritual object used for heavenly offerings in the culture of the Yu state. Fan Li, known for his deep studies in Taoism during his early years, would have found such burial objects fitting for someone of his identity. In addition, a uniquely shaped bronze item named Bronze Set sparked heated academic debate. Some experts believe it reflects the open sexual attitudes of the spring and autumn period, while others speculate it relates to the physical condition of the tomb occupant, or perhaps it was a personal item belonging to a woman. However, these are just peripheral speculations. The most significant discovery was yet to come. Deep within the tomb, archaeologists finally found a burial inscription identifying the tomb's occupant as Fan Li. Even more astonishingly, the inscription revealed a secret about Xi Shi and Fan Li. According to the record, Fan Li did not immediately send Xi Shi to the state of Wu after discovering her beauty. Instead, they spent 3 years together and even had a child named Unearthed. In order to send Xi Shi on a covert mission, Fan Li held the child as a hostage, compelling her to go to Wu. This account challenges the traditional narrative that Xi Shi spent 3 years training in the arts, suggesting instead that a deep emotional bond may have existed between the two. The epitaph also mentions that after the fall of Wu, Xi Shi returned to Fan Li, and the two eventually withdrew from public life and were buried together. This discovery thrilled the archaeological team. Could this be the legendary shared tomb of Xi Shi and Fan Li? However, no human remains were found, making the conclusion murky. The tomb could be a clothing tomb, a symbolic burial without bodies, or a memorial built later based on legend. Although experts are cautious about drawing definitive conclusions, the tomb provides fresh evidence for the story of Xi Shi and Fan Li and has sparked new speculation about the truth behind the legend. To fully understand their story, we must delve deeper into Fan Li's life. He was not only the military commander of Yu but also a visionary strategist. Originally from the state of Chu, Fan Li displayed exceptional talent from a young age. He left his homeland to serve the Yu state, aiding the young King Gojian during a time of national crisis. After being defeated by Wu and taken prisoner, Gojian was forced to serve the Wu king Fuchai and endure humiliation. Fan Li remained by Gojian's side throughout, encouraging him to bide his time. He proposed the famous beauty trap and designed a series of strategies to restore Yu's power, including developing agriculture, training the military, and stockpiling supplies. These efforts laid the foundation for Yu's eventual resurgence. During the war against Wu, Fan Li demonstrated remarkable military acumen. He accurately assessed Wu's strategic errors and seized the opportunity when Fuchai split his forces to the north, leaving his rear vulnerable. Fan Li led Yu's army to steadily reclaim lost territory and eventually captured the Wu capital in 473 BC, completing Yu's restoration. However, Fan Li's wisdom extended beyond warfare. He had a keen insight into power dynamics. After Wu's defeat, he foresaw Gojian's distrust of meritorious officials and his intolerance of dissent. Thus, at the peak of his fame and success, Fan Li chose to withdraw from politics, quietly leaving Yu with Xi Shi. Fan Li assumed the alias Qi Pai and relocated to Tao, modern-day Shandong or Hunan, where he became a merchant. Using his sharp intellect, he built a commercial empire from scratch, amassing and then voluntarily giving away his fortune 3 times. His aim seemed not to be wealth itself but self-fulfillment through commerce. He once said, "Arrogance in wealth invites misfortune." This open-minded philosophy allowed him to thrive in chaotic times. In his later years, he took on the name Lord Tao Zhu and settled by Lake Tai, leading a reclusive life. It is said that he and Xi Shi roamed the 5 lakes together, far removed from worldly struggles, living in peace and freedom. Fan Li's legend also lies in his foresight. He once urged his friend Wen Zhong to retire with him, but Wen refused and stayed in Yu, ultimately receiving a death sentence from Gojian. Fan Li's choice proved wise. His actions exemplify the sage who knows when to retreat. His story is not merely about political success but also a philosophical lesson in wisdom and decision-making. Compared to Fan Li, historical records about Xi Shi are extremely scarce. Her beauty has been celebrated endlessly by later generations of poets and scholars, but her real life remains shrouded in mystery. In Records of the Grand Historian, she is only briefly mentioned as a woman from Zhuluo village in Yu, chosen by Fan Li for her beauty and sent to Wu to carry out the beauty trap. Though her mission seemed simple, bewitch Fuchai with her charm, the task was riddled with personal sacrifice. In Wu, she faced a foreign land and the immense psychological pressure of being a spy. She succeeded in making Fuchai obsess over her, to the point where he undertook lavish construction projects to please her. Notably, due to her relatively large feet, considered a flaw at the time, Xi Shi created a distinctive, clog dance, to turn her perceived disadvantage into a unique appeal, winning the king's favor. However, her fate remains a subject of debate. One theory holds that she reunited with Fan Li after Wu's fall and lived a happy life. This is supported by the epitaph in the Qianlong tomb, which suggests a reunion and joint burial. Another version is more tragic. Some believe she was killed by Yu soldiers after Wu's collapse due to her role as Fuchai's concubine. Others say she was drowned by Gojian's jealous wife. These conflicting accounts share a common thread: tragedy shaped by the era. In the male-dominated society of the Spring and Autumn period, women's fates were often dictated by national politics, and Xi Shi's sacrifice is a quintessential example. The discovery of the Qianlong tomb has infused the legend of Xi Shi with a romantic hue, yet the absence of remains keeps the truth elusive. Another suspected burial site of Fan Li is in Guiyang, Anhui province, where a mound known as Fan Li's Old Burial also lacks skeletal remains. However, its geographic and toponymic details, e.g., Shizi River, closely align with legend. Located between central China and the Wuyue region, Guiyang matches the record of Fan Li conducting business in Tao. Local names such as Fan Li Village and Shizi River, along with former temples dedicated to Xi Shi, continue to inspire romantic visions of their story. Yet neither the Qianlong tomb nor the Guiyang mound offers conclusive proof. Both may be symbolic tombs or later memorials built on legend. The tale of Xi Shi and Fan Li is a saga of sacrifice and wisdom. Xi Shi wielded her beauty as a weapon, offering up her youth and freedom for Yu's revival. Fan Li used strategy and restraint to fulfill a national cause. If their love story truly unfolded as the epitaph suggests, with separation, reunion, and eventual retreat from the world, then it takes on a layer of romantic depth. But history is often more complex than legend. Xi Shi's sacrifice reflects the era's limitations. Her beauty was used as a political tool, and her personal emotions suppressed for national duty. Yet, it is precisely this sacrifice that underscores her courage and greatness. She was not just a legendary beauty but a hero who silently served her country in turbulent times. Fan Li's brilliance lies in his insight into both political currents and human nature. He not only helped Gojian reclaim his kingdom but also chose to withdraw at the height of success, avoiding the fate of so many honored officials. His pattern of gaining and giving away wealth 3 times reveals a transcendent worldview. His story teaches us that true success lies not only in achievement, but also in knowing when to let go. Whether or not the burial site is ultimately confirmed as the shared tomb of Xi Shi and Fan Li, its discovery provides a window into the history of the Spring and Autumn period. It reminds us that history is not only the domain of kings and generals, it also belongs to the ordinary people who struggled, contributed, and sacrificed during chaotic times, especially women like Xi Shi who played pivotal roles amid shifting tides. The story of Xi Shi and Fan Li is not merely a romantic tale of a beauty and a hero. It's about loyalty, sacrifice, and the difficult choices people make between power, love, and fate. These are questions we still grapple with today. So, what do you think of this history? Which ending do you prefer to believe? Did Xi Shi and Fan Li really sail the 5 lakes and retreat into seclusion? Or were they different people with different fates? What does Fan Li's decision to retire at the height of his power make you reflect upon? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's explore these time-shrouded secrets together. This is History and Culture channel. Like and subscribe are the biggest help and support for us. Thank you everyone. See you next time.